Hey team, and welcome to our ab workout. So we're going to do 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off for these. Starting off laying on our back, hands behind our head, and we're chest lifting. So as we chest lift, we're thinking about those upper abs, lifting our shoulders off the ground, contracting, and then laying back down. So hands are supported behind our head, but we're not pulling our head all the way up, halfway. So I like to look up rather than forward towards my legs, because that way you don't pull on your neck as much. Keeping those elbows out nice and wide. Couple more, and then you get to rest. And resting there. So for our next ones, we're going to do ankle taps. So laying down as we were, hands by your side. And then from here, you're going to lift up and then go towards each ankle side to side. And let's go. So lifting up, staying lifted, trying to touch your ankles if you can. Otherwise, just in that general direction is fine. So trying to stay lifted, holding our chest up as high as you can. Engaging through our lower core as well as the upper abs. And most importantly for this whole workout, just keep breathing. So try not to hold our breath as we're doing this. You can go as fast as you like, or you can work on nice and slow and controlled. So nearly there, keep breathing. Trying to keep our chest as high as you can. And resting. Laying down there. Alright, so now we're going to go onto our elbows. So staying on those forearms, and we're going to extend one leg out at a time. So we'll start up in tabletop in a second, and we're going to stay up there the whole time if possible. So extend one leg out at a time, nice and slow. So really engaging through our lower core as the leg extends out, squeezing through our quad muscle, so the front of our leg, trying to straighten the leg as much as you can. So the lower that your leg is to the ground, the harder it's going to be. So if you need to, you can straighten it up towards the ceiling more. So nice gentle breathing, nearly there. And resting. All right, so we're going to make that one a little bit harder. We're going to go double leg extension, so both legs going out. If that's a little bit too hard, then you can just stay with the single leg. So same position, get comfy, lift both legs up, and let's go. So double leg out and pulling back into tabletop each time. So same thing, trying to squeeze your quads. I like to point my toes, I find that helps. And then straightening the legs out as much as you can. So lower to the ground is more difficult, and then higher up will be a little bit easier. So engaging through our lower core. Nice gentle breathing. Nearly there. And resting. All right, so next one, you're going to lay back down again, and then once we start, we're going to lift our legs back up into tabletop, chest lifting, and we're going to pulse the arms. So take a few deep breaths before we get started. Lift the legs up and let's go. So chest lifting, staying up the whole time if we can, pulsing the arms like you're pressing them down towards the ground, but not quite touching the ground. So lower core engage, pretty much all our abs engage. Breathing through this, trying to stay up as long as possible. But if you need to, you can lay down and have a quick rest and then come back up into our chest lift. So trying to keep our legs in tabletop the whole time. Breathing it out for the last few seconds of this one. And relax. Awesome work. All right, so now we're going to do some tucks. So there's 2 options which I'll show you. So you're going to lift up into a tabletop position, hold in behind your legs, and you can just stay here and hold if you need to. Or we're going to tuck in and out. So from that tabletop, you're going to extend both legs out, leaning back as you go out, tuck back in. So out and in. So more difficult will be going as far down as you can, but you can work your way up to that if you're not ready for that yet. Otherwise, just holding on behind the legs like I just showed you. So nearly there, last few reps. And relax. Good job. All right, so for our next ones, we're going to be doing some oblique twists. So we'll go down to halfway, nice and slow and controlled. We're going to twist from side to side. All right, let's go. So rolling down, twisting, back to center, to the other side. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about engaging through my obliques. So they're on the sides of our torso. So they're contracting as we twist to that side and lengthening as we go to the opposite side. So same thing again, you can go down even lower, which will make it harder, so leaning back further, or you can sit up a little bit higher to make it a little bit easier. So nice and controlled. There we go, resting. All right, so for our next one, we're going to be on our hands and knees, tucking the toes. And for this one, we're just going to hover just a couple of centimeters off the ground. All right, let's go. So hovering, we're trying to keep a neutral spine here. So nice and long from the base of our skull all the way down to our pelvis. Engaging through our core, pressing strong through the shoulders. Trying to keep the knees in that same position, just a few centimeters off the ground. To make it a bit easier, you can lift your knees higher. Nice and controlled breathing here. Nearly there. A few more deep breaths. And relax. Good work. All right, for our next one, we're going to be half kneeling. So kneel on one knee, leg out to the side. We're going to be crunching to one side and twisting down. So hands go behind our head when you're ready. And let's go. So crunch to the side, twist, crunch, back up. So down, turn to the floor, turn back to the front, lift up. So down as far as you can, trying to keep that balance and control. Thinking about hips forward the whole time. So you don't want to be bending your bum back as you're leaning down. So squeeze your glutes, hips forward. Trying to keep that leg that's extended out as straight as possible. And breathing the whole time. Try not to hold our breath. And relax. Awesome work. Now we get to do the other side, and this is our last one. So we're almost done. So change the legs, and when you're ready, hands behind your head. Try not to grip onto your neck. Crunch down, twist, back to the front, up. Down, twist, front, up. So engaging through all our deep core muscles, our abs, our obliques, making sure our hips are forward and try not to pull on your neck. So to make it easier, you just won't crunch as far down. So just decrease that range, and you don't have to add the twist in if that's a little bit too hard. All right, we're nearly there. 3, 2, 1. And resting. Awesome work, team. Good job.